Hola a todos. Soy Michelle here con otro video de oh my gosh, utilización de mi progreso con input comprensible. It's been a while, so I'm glad to be back here on a live stream to be able to share my journey and what has been going on since then. I originally had planned to do an update video in the month of September because that was my 2-year anniversary from starting Dreaming Spanish. So that's one thing that I love about Dreaming Spanish is that I get to track my hours and I get to see my progress and for me to really just see how I've been doing over the course of time since I've started with comprehensible input. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and on my screen, what I'm sharing is showing that I started in September of 2022 on the 15th. And so in my first year of comprehensible input, I had completed 258 hours of input. And then in my second year, so from 2023 to 2024, of September 15th, I then completed 336 hours of input. And I actually really wanted to do the math to see what the total was at the end of September 15th of this year and not technically where I am today. So bear with me. So that's 4, 8, 9. So 594 hours, I believe. So 594 hours completed September 15th of 2024. And then as of today, I have 636 hours of input at this point. And so obviously what I've noticed is that I was able to accumulate more hours in year 2, which to me makes sense because I can comprehend more things. So now I can use different resources to comprehend, to use to to utilize input and get input hours in and not necessarily dreaming Spanish. So I feel that to be really helpful in having that as an option there. And then also, yeah, because I can remember like when I first started, like I was super frustrated knowing that I was doing like super beginner videos, even beginner videos, and not really understanding much of the video. And so I remember not being able to input as much time into one sitting as well. So for me, I know that the hours accumulated a lot slower due to that reason. Then of course, as I moved into year 2, like I'm starting to get a flow. I'm starting to see that it's working also. And so of course I have other resources to utilize there. In regards to resources that I'm using, I want to go ahead and share what I'm doing as of right now lately. So, as of now, I've been using on my walks in the morning. I take a walk in the morning, and what I've been doing is utilizing Espanol con Juan. So, I just listen to it as I'm walking, and it's about a 20 to 30-minute walk that I do in the morning. I take my dog for a walk. And so that is what I've been listening to. And I've been trying to utilize different resources. So I was doing How to Spanish podcast, and then now I'm on my Espanol con Juan, um, bit where I'm utilizing a lot of that. I'm just trying to get different resources, different sounds, different topics that different people talk about. I feel like is really important, and so I've been really enjoying listening to Espanol con Juan as well. And with Espanol con Juan, I'll listen to maybe depending on how long his episodes are, it could be like 2 or 3, and then I'll continue listening to them if I feel that I didn't really grasp everything or I want to listen to that again. And then I'll continue to move forward. So when I utilize this resource, I'm more so like I will listen to it multiple times before I move on to the next episode. So, and I'm starting from the oldest episodes that he's had. And I mean, he's been doing this for a while. So I really enjoy, oh, I didn't bring it up. Yeah, Espanol con Juan. So this is Espanol con Juan. And he has a lot of videos. And what I also like about him, because sometimes I'll watch um, him on the YouTube channel as well, because he uses a lot of things in context and he'll focus on those things. So like ser versus estar. And I know for me that can be confusing, but he really does a great job of using it in a context, walking around his home or the neighborhood, depending on where he's at, to kind of drill in, what is as happening there and just, making it make sense in a way. So I really appreciate Espanol con Juan for those things, and he does a really great job of using different words and phrases and things like that in context. So I wanted to share that resource that I'm utilizing there. And then also, what else have I been doing? Let's see. I wrote my notes. I'm still back with Carmen Sandiego. It's just one of those shows that I really, really enjoy. And I've finished another, well, it's not another season. I'm just watching the same 4 seasons over and over again because I find them entertaining and I enjoy it. Excuse me. 1 second. I had a sneeze there. So Carmen Sandiego is a show that I enjoy watching on Netflix, and I recently finished its 4 seasons. And as I was getting to the end of season 4, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm actually understanding the plot more," because I've this is probably like my 3rd or 4th time watching it, and I pick up little bits and pieces. But this last time when I finished the 4 seasons, I completed the 4th season. I felt that, wow, I actually am starting to understand what the plot actually is here and getting more of like the storylines from like start to finish. And so I've started again. I'm back on season 1 because I'm going to rewatch it. And it's just one of those shows that it's like 20, 25 minutes. And it's a show that I like to watch one episode per day. So I allow myself that time to watch 1 episode per day for Carmen Sandiego. And I love that it's all about geography and she's all obviously all over the world. And yeah, I love to travel. So it's something that I enjoy. Staying on top of. The next resource that I've been using is it's actually a novella. So that novella is let's see, Todas las Flores. And so sometimes I'm not really a novella person because like they can be like really exaggerated and just the different things that are happening. Or sometimes I feel like I already know what the storyline is. It's like they're very similar to me and usually what's going to be happening. So, anyways, I was on VIX, the app. So think of VIX of like the Roku where it has like live TV, movies, shows, sports, different things like that, but everything's in Spanish. So I utilized that VIX app. And what I started to watch is Todas las Flores. And so it's pretty interesting to me. So what is it? This lady right here, she's blind down at the bottom. And actually this novella originally is in Portuguese. So it's dubbed over in Spanish. So I can appreciate that. So it was based in Brazil. And this lady down here at the bottom, she's blind, and her mom has found her living with her dad, and mom is doing crazy things. And so basically, mom brought her back so she can give her sister, this person, like here on the left hand side, bone marrow transplant. And then, of course, like the story continues to unfold of different things. And, it's pretty entertaining. But one thing that I can appreciate because I am starting to watch a novella on my own is that I sit there and I think, wow, I'm actually understanding this. Like I'm even understanding the tenses that they're speaking in as well. So I don't understand everything. I'm not at 100% comprehension. Nope, not there yet. But I will say that I do notice that I find myself like listening as if I were almost listening in English. There are times where in the past where if I'm watching something in Spanish, especially at a novella type level where it's pretty native, I will just strictly stay focused. And the other day I was like cutting something on my jacket and I had my head down, but I was still listening and I was still comprehending at the same time. And it was like, oh, there's an interesting part coming up, and I would, look up and things like that. So I'm really enjoying the show. I've been watching it kind of consistently. I don't say I do 1 episode. It's more so like whenever I have a break in my day, or definitely try to get in 1 episode though, at least minimum for Todas las Flores. Pretty interesting show. And then also, if I don't understand something while I'm listening to it, I have my phone ready for Google Translate. And what the cool thing about it is now that I comprehend more, is that I can now hear like what the actual word is that I'm not hearing. So I can go ahead and put it in my Google Translate and then learn what that word is. So it's like I have a new word for the day. So which is really great. I really don't do dreaming Spanish that much, I noticed. So because now that my comprehension level is up, I know that I have more resources that I can utilize. And so I really don't use Dreaming Spanish that much. Usually it's, in between my breaks or something, I'll utilize it. Or if I'm like on a long drive, I'll just put the playlist on for the videos. But I'm noticing that I'm utilizing other things outside of Dreaming Spanish. But whenever, like I said, whenever I get a chance, I'll go ahead and utilize Dreaming Spanish as well. I still enjoy the different topics and things like that. Let's see. The other resource, I'm still utilizing Preply. So Preply is a thing of like italki. Basically, I can go get Spanish classes on Preply. And so I started with two different teachers in the beginning. I want to say it was like maybe August or September I started. I don't remember exactly. And I started with two teachers. I was doing 2 lessons per week. One of those teachers, I felt that uh, they were like teaching more, and then I wasn't allowed a space to really like speak and just learn to speak more, basically. And then my other teacher, he went on vacation for 2 weeks, and so I didn't want to wait for him to come back, and not. So I started to look for somebody else to kind of take place of that two lessons per week. So I found somebody else, and I have stuck with them for now because I've been enjoying my two different teachers that I found on Preply. So one of them, we basically just talk like we're friends. Like I come into the Zoom or to the video recording, and we just start talking about like what's happening. And so it's really good. Like I love that I've made it known that if I don't say something correctly, please write it in the chat so I can repeat myself. And so I start to say things correctly. It's all in Spanish. Everything's in Spanish. So it gets that input time, but I'm also getting that time to speak as well, which is, what I want to do. And then my second instructor that I use on Preply, she to me is more of a teacher. She has, her what is it's not a presentation, a lesson plan set up. But what I do enjoy with her is that, she'll have me listen to audio, she'll have me answer questions. She'll also have me look at a picture and like, come up with a story about what I just saw, or, we'll do role play and things like that. So I feel that that is very helpful in terms of my growth. So I'm really happy with the two teachers that I have. I will say if anybody uses Preply, because I just learned this. So I mentioned that one of my teachers went on vacation for 2 weeks, and they do more of a subscription. So you have to buy your classes in advance. I know it's kind of weird because I'm used to italki where I just kind of like pay as I go. And what's up, Bajan Alpha 4? How's it going? How are you doing? What's new with you? Let us know how your journey is going. What's up? You have any questions, please let me know. Um, so what the subscription is, with my teacher who was on vacation for 2 weeks, I looked at my account and I noticed that I lost my like balance, my subscription days, like to put towards like a class with him. And turns out, I guess they subscription classes that I purchase expire if I don't use them within a certain amount of time. So I had to reach out to support for Preply saying, "Hey, I had already purchased these classes prior to knowing that he was going to be taking vacation, and then when he comes back, he only puts a schedule out every 2 weeks. So, and if his schedule doesn't work with mine, then I have to wait for him to put a schedule out another 2 weeks for him to do it and then figure it out." So I let them know that, "Hey, I didn't know that, and if you could please give me my balance back because I pay for that, and I'd like to use it towards, my other tutors that I'm utilizing." So yeah, but other than that, I've been appreciating Preply and the teachers that I'm meeting. Let's see, my journey is kind of slow right now. Okay, let's see. But I'm still trying to get some Spanish in every day. That's that's the best you can do. If you get 5 minutes in, 5 minutes adds up. I'm telling you, because trust me, I know the feeling, especially when there was days that I wasn't getting no Spanish in. I was like, even if it's 5 minutes, it's still like putting steps in, it's still putting effort in. So I applaud you for doing that, and keep doing that, even if it is 5 minutes. If that's all you got, just keep putting those 5 minutes in. So I applaud you for that. Keep going. That's all I gotta say is keep going. Let's see. Okay, so Preply, and then what is it? Oh, Duolingo. I do a little lesson of Duolingo every day too. I find it helpful because Duolingo teaches me vocabulary. It does focus on like different conjugations for like a while in terms of their lessons. So I start to get that like in my brain as well. So I do enjoy utilizing Duolingo. It's something that I do enjoy. And let's see here. Mm, yeah. Um, that is pretty much my update right now. Bayesian Alpha, are you only using Dreaming Spanish for your input right now? Are you using any other different resources to get your input in? Just curious to see what you're doing on your end. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions, always please let me know. I feel like for me, it's my blog, my diary to show my journey through this process. Definitely, I'm really proud of myself, in the progress that I've been making. Um, Sometimes I can get a little down if there's, like, a native speaker, they're speaking super fast, and I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I thought my level of comprehension was so good right now." And then it's like, okay, you're doing great. Just keep going. You're gonna get there. You're gonna get there." Uh Oh, you're reading more. Okay, okay, so cool, you restarted your premium subscription. Oh, nice, you're at native content, that's really good, you're doing awesome. Um, that's amazing. I think that's amazing, so keep going. And then reading more too. Are you reading like, what level of books are you reading, Bayesian Alpha? Because now that you mention it, I started to read too, but I'm reading, like, super beginner books, and they have the translations, the English, Spanish translations on each page. So I want to start to incorporate reading as well. And when I read, I read out loud. So it's coming out of my mouth and it's not just staying in my head. So I've been utilizing books too, but I need to focus more on and reading and really honing in on time that I allow myself to read. I've tried and then I forget and then I start doing other things and I just focus on listening. But I do want to start reading more. But yeah, I'm curious to know, um, like, what types of books are you reading? Like big chapter books? Uh, like what, or is it like certain topics that you like to read about as well? Curious. Okay. So you're just trying to keep it simple. And if you could read a higher level, cool. Nice. I mean, I feel like that's the beauty of sharing is to see all the different resources and learning about what else is out there. And right now you're reading native kids books. Okay, cool. Yeah. See, that's cool. I love learning like the different resources that everybody's using. That's great. So if you're reading and you're getting 5 minutes in, you're still doing a lot. So definitely applause to you. So that's great. Any other have you used any resources outside of Dreaming Spanish that you really enjoyed? Just curious. I got you. I got you. I will be your cheerleader via the internet. Ah, so, like, whenever you feel like, "Oh, should I or shouldn't I come back to this video?" Bayesian Alpha, you should. You're doing great. You're doing great. Alrighty. Let's see. Any other questions before I end this live? Um, man, I look forward to, being able to speaking. Oh, you did Español con Juan's podcast. Okay, cool. Nice. Wait, is this Español con Juan? I wanna make sure your acronym for ECJ is the same acronym that I think it is, and I'm not over here just making up things, and it's not actually what you've been using. 'Cause I'm like, "Oh, español con Juan," and you're like, "No, it's totally something different." Um, but yeah, if it is, I'm enjoying his podcast. That's my morning walk routine is español con Juan, and I really, really, really enjoy his podcast. Yeah, he's so funny. He's so silly. Um, but that's what makes it enjoyable. And just in case anybody's wondering, like, who is ECJ? Um, it's this guy right here. This is ECJ. He now has the acronym. Okay. Bayesian Alpha, you put me up on game. The acronym ECJ. We all know Espanol con Juan. We got it. Yeah. So he's really good. Love that. All right, y'all. Um, if not anything else, then whoops. Then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off for the day. Thank you, Bayesian Alpha, for coming in and chatting, having a little conversation. I really enjoy that. I hope you're doing well, not just on your Spanish journey, but in your life in general. And that's definitely to everybody out there. And I always ask, like, share in the comments if you're not watching this live, share, your micro wins or macro wins, whatever that may be. I feel like it's important to share those things. And we can also continue to, support each other and uplift each other and just see all the progress that we're making. Or if there's a resource that you're using that you really enjoy, please share that with us as well. I love to see it, learn about it, and just seeing what else is out there and the different resources that we have. I mean, because we have the internet now, so there's so much, so much, so much, so much. And thank you, Bayesian Alpha. I appreciate that. And with that being said, I will see y'all in the next video or the next live. Ciao.